Matthias, do you need the mic? Or no?
I don't think so. You can choose.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I don't think we need this. So I'll start with a question to everyone who is here. And my question is like, who here wants their well-being? You can put your hands up. Who want their well-being? Right. Right, because we have to be on the same page. Because if I say something, now it has to go in the same line. Because all I'm going to speak about is about well-being only. So if people are not interested, then that will be a waste of breath and waste of their time. So the thing is that how do we ensure well-being in the present and in the future, like right now and in the future? That's what the question is. And the Vedic tradition has a lot of, let's say, knowledge about this particular aspect for human beings. Okay, the beings who are on this plane right now with this particular body. Okay, so the first thing which comes is connection with nature. I think that's what the title of this talk is, like connection, how to connect with nature. So the first thing I would like to bring in that is that your body itself, your human body itself, is part of nature, right? It's made up of the 5 elements. Same way, and the earth is the primary element. Earth, wind, fire, water, ether. So like these are the 5 elements which your body is made of. So the thing is that when you start treating your body properly first, if you start treating your body rightly, you are actually connecting with nature, right? If you just start treating your body properly. Like now human body is like a tool. It's a very advanced machine. Okay? So, but it does not come with a sort of, what does it come with? Manual, yes. Like all the devices, like your cameras, everything comes with a manual. But unfortunately from the mother's womb, like we don't have a manual for the human body. It doesn't come with a manual. So people do not know what to do with it, how to use this. Like you have this tool now, what am I going to do with this? Like what is this? So that's where majority of the confusion in this earth happens from. It's from this not knowing what to do with the body. Okay, because all the actions you do are done with the body. Can you do action with the mind? Can you do an action with the mind? Just the mind?
Yes.
Like on this plane, no.
Okay.
You can think anything, but finally when you act, you have to act through the body. I mean, you can have thousands of thoughts, right? Thousands of thoughts. But you can choose which thought you're going to put into action. And that action will come through body. On this plane, action only happens through body. So we have to understand this first, very, very clearly. Like that action only happens through body, no matter what you are thinking. Thinking does not matter in this. Yeah. So it's very important to understand that, because finally, if you control your body, you are automatically controlling your mind. The thing is that, like, our body is very slow. Human body is very slow. It does not move by itself. Like if I have to raise my hand, I have to tell my hand to raise itself. Then it'll come down when I want it to. Human body does not do anything without you telling it to do it. Okay, it's a very slow thing. Your mind is a very fast thing. It can run away anywhere. It has a lot of speed. Like you are sitting in Sweden right now, but your mind can go to Italy right now, or anywhere in the world. It's very fast, and you cannot control it. Okay, if you try to control the mind directly, first it's fast. You can't see it. You can't get hold of it. But this body is slow, and you can get hold of it, and you can control it. So what is in your hands finally is not controlling the mind, but controlling the body. That's what is in a human's hand. So once you understand that and start controlling the body, you'll find that you'll automatically control the mind. So for control of the body, the first thing which was given in Vedic knowledge was posture. Like right now, people have been put into the posture. It's nice. People are in a nice posture. I can see that. So the posture was like simple, like straight, and then just being straight and centered. So the most emphasis was being in the center. Okay, because not going left or right. Okay, so that was the basic thing which was taught to all children, like when they're 3, 4, 5. Like right now, people when they go to school, they're not taught that. That's posture. Body posture is not what is taught at school. Okay, they start with the ABCD or whatever, the alphabet or whatever, but they don't start with the body posture. Now, without control of the body, you cannot really control anything as a human being. So it should start, the basic education for anything should start with your body posture. Okay, so once you are centered, you'll find that if you hold your posture in a centered way all the time, even when you're standing or anything, if you don't go your neck like this and that, like try to stay centered most of the time, and speak from the center of the mouth as well, like speech also from the center of the mouth, posture straight and speech from the center of the mouth, no matter what language you're speaking, whether you're speaking English or Swedish or whatever, you have to speak from the center of the mouth. For that, there is a good practice. Like we'll start with this doing a R sound first. Like when you are in this posture, you just have to tilt your head up like around 30 degrees. People can 30 degrees, the head up like this, and you just have to do a R sound. Open the mouth and just do Okay, everyone. Okay, just head up 30 degrees roundabout and do a R sound. Right. Now what that does is that it centers you. Every time you, and it has multiple uses. Like, what is up there?
Sky?
Yes, anyone else? What is up there?
Everything.
Anything else?
A device.
It's, let's say, ether. Okay, the sky element, ether. Okay, so when you are doing a R to it, R means come. In the Sanskrit root, R means come. So you're allowing the ether element to come into you. You are inviting the ether element. And now ether element controls all the other 4 elements. Earth, fire, air, water. Okay, are controlled by the ether element. So first you are asking that you are centering yourself and you are grounding yourself too. Because if this is done like sitting on the ground, you're sitting on the ground. So you are creating a connection between earth and the ether through your body. Like, so you're grounded as well, but you are having the ether element too. And on top of that, you're grounding and centering yourself. And after that, for you to speak centered is much easier once you do this exercise as many times as you can. The more you do this exercise, the more you'll find that you are able to speak from the center. Because in English, the word Sidi, Sidi? Anyone knows the word Sidi here? Oh, it's maybe more American lingo. So, like, Sidi means like a person who speaks from the side of their mouth. Okay? Now that person is considered untrustworthy, unreliable. You cannot trust that person, what that person says. Why? because that means you're on one side. It's not a good thing. It means you're not in the center. Like when you become centered, you automatically get a lot of what is called in natural common sense. Natural common sense. And you don't have the problems which people face by going too left, like too emotional, too psychosomatic, and too much in the right, which is too active, and too much into trifles. So there are problems on both left and right side. So for a human being, and the human machine was designed to be in the center. So the whole point of human body was that first you will get it to the center. That was the first basic. And then anything else. For example, like right now in Sweden, people would think that they go hiking, right? Like, so when they're going hiking, they think they're connecting with nature, right? But what I'm saying is that when you're going hiking, you have a backpack on you, that thing, and you're walking and walking, you're actually torturing your body. From a Vedic point of view, you are torturing your body. You're not connecting with nature. And the more you are feeling, like when you do that kind of thing, you're obviously feeling all kinds of stress, and you're feeling like some sort of pressure, and you can't enjoy nature at that time. You're panting and huffing and puffing. You can't like look around and enjoy. Like, to enjoy nature, you have to be in a nice equilibrialized state, like very nice centered state. So the activities which humans have designed now to even connect with nature are not connecting them with nature. And then you're wearing boots, right? And then you're not touching the earth anyways. You have no grounding. You're just torturing your body. And you're not gaining anything. You're not gaining a connection with nature. And I think that's a big problem for all of Scandinavia, pretty much, in the way Scandinavia tries to connect with nature in modern times. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about the current, the right now. So the point is not to torture the body. Like, this is not a rental car. Like how people use the rental car. They just trash it about. Doesn't matter. It's not my car. I don't care. So people are using the body the same way. Like, I don't care what happens. Like, I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing with it. So that's where the core problem for human beings occurs. All across the earth. Not just here. I'm saying all across the earth. So unless we solve that, we cannot have any real solution to the overall problems which human beings face. So it has to start from the very basic. Like, the important point in connecting with nature actually is being respectful towards it, being gentle towards it. For example, we have this lake behind us, right? Now, how do we connect to this lake? We can either take a run and jump straight into it, head over like straight, take a run and jump straight into it, or we can approach the water gently, or touch it gently and get some communion with it. There are two ways we can go about it. So when you just jump straight like that, you are showing a disrespect to nature. You're basically saying that I'm just gonna do what I feel like, and I'm not really respectful of that space or anything. Like, so the attitude in which one has to approach nature has to be respectful and gentle. Then you have a communion with nature. That's how you get a connection with nature. Not just, I'm just gonna do splash and that's all, and I don't care. So the factor called grace comes into it. You like, if you're graceful with nature, then nature will be graceful back to you. If you're gentle with nature, nature will be gentle back to you. If you're respectful to nature, then nature will be respectful back to you. So you have to understand this about nature. Like it is also a living entity. Like everything around us, like the forest, the lake, everything is a living entity, and it understands your intentions. Your intent is clear to it. Just like how you deal with a person. Like if you deal with them in a nice way, then they're nice to you. Is the same kind of thing applies to nature. So connecting with nature requires you being nice to it and gentle with it. So that gentleness is much more a key than just like hiking through it, marauding through it, or trying to overpower it, trying to overcome it. That's a different attitude. Completely different attitude from connection, actual connection. Okay, so one here has to strive to be like treat the whole thing as one's home, basically, and be nice and easy with it. Take permission. Like, can I have that? Can I touch this? And be nice and gentle. And you will see in time how nature rewards you. It will reward you with natural sense. And natural sense is a thing which is missing in this world right now, all over the earth, everywhere. Natural common sense is missing because we are not respecting nature and we are not connecting with it in a proper way. So the thing is that one has to have a sense that I'm dealing with everything in a sacred manner. Everything. The more the sense of sacredness comes in your actions with your body, the more you will find that you are getting close to nature. All your psychological problems and issues are going away. You feel that you are evolving in a real sense of the word, and you'll find that all of these things are. And finally, it leads to your well-being, which is what I started with. I started the whole thing with that, do you want your well-being or not? Okay, so the point is, if you want your well-being, then you will have to respect this environment which you are in, anywhere on earth. You have to do it. If you don't, the other thing will occur, which is the opposite of well-being. I don't want to go into that. Everyone knows what is opposite of well-being. Okay, so I don't need to speak anything about that. So the thing is that we have to go towards the well-being, and for that we have to do the right actions with the body. So first important thing is self-discipline of the body, control, centering. Okay, then how to use that body. The thing with the body is that if you don't have discipline and control over it, if you don't have discipline and control over your body, you cannot actually behave properly with anyone, a nature or another human being, right? You need control over your body to have a proper manners, right? Proper behavior, whether you're dealing with nature or human beings. You need that. But if you don't have that body discipline, how are you going to do it? And basic body discipline was keeping yourself centered in posture. Like, because people ask me, like, do we need to do exercises or anything like that? I said, no, you don't need to do exercises. You just keep your body straight and your posture straight all day long. That's exercise enough for any human being. You'll find that's the most toughest exercise. It's more than going to gym. It's more than going to yoga class. It's more than doing anything physical you can do. It's just keeping yourself straight and centered at all points of time. It's a 24/7, 365 activity. It's not done for just 1 hour or half an hour. People do meditation for half an hour, 1 hour, right? But why just for half an hour and 1 hour? When your 23 hours will be all nonsensical. What's the point? If you're going to do something for half and 1 hour, like in 23 hours, you're going to do something totally different. Which is going to win? 1 hour or 23 hours? Who's going to win? Tell me, in a war between 1 hour and 23 hours. 23 is going to win. Okay, now the thing is, the word meditation comes from the root medi. Okay, medi. Medi is Latin for middle. Okay, center, which comes from Sanskrit, madhya. Madhya became medi in Latin, and that is center. Okay, so meditation means centration, which means that you are being in the center. That's all meditation is. So when you are in center, you are meditating all the time. Okay? Whenever you are like centered, you are meditating all the time. So, and when you're speaking from the center of your mouth, you are meditating. Meditation does not mean silence. Okay? It does not mean silence. It means that when you speak the right things from the center of your mouth. Okay? That's what it means. Okay? So meditation doesn't mean that you just sit down like that. Because if you sit down like that without speaking, your mind will just run. And you will have a hard time controlling it. So, first, where do we eat food from? I'll ask you a question. Where do we eat food from? Food. Everyone eats food.
From nature.
No, but where do we, in our body, where do we eat it from? The food. Mouth, right? Mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, we eat food from the mouth, right? Okay. So, people think mouth is only for eating food, right? When you eat food from the mouth, what happens? It goes into your stomach, and what happens there? Broken down, and what gets produced? Energy, right? Yes. So you eat food, it goes into the fire here, energy is produced. Now you have to do something with that energy to close the loop, right? So it went in from here, mouth, went in down here, energy is produced. The same energy has to come back through the mouth again as what? What? Speech. Okay, so speech is the primary human activity. Okay, speech is a primary. So when they say silence is golden, then you can say the right speech is better than golden. Okay. Okay, correct speech is better than golden. Okay, because it's real gold, not just golden. It's real gold. Okay. So the thing is that you are supposed to finish this process through proper speech, not just gossiping and speaking nonsense, right? Like people can do that too, right? With that energy. When the energy comes in, you can spread that energy out in nonsense too, like, isn't it? It's your choice. That's why human beings have what is called free will. You can choose to decide to do whatever you want with that energy. Okay, but the thing is that whenever you decide to do something, there will be consequences. Okay, because free will is your choice, but after you have exercised that free will and you have taken an action, there will be a reaction to that action, which is called a consequence, which is what is called karma. You know, which is called karma in the West. Like, okay, that karma has become karma. So that's where the whole point of, and all of the karma you do on this plane is done through your body. Yeah.
In Swedish, karm is a window.
Yeah.
Like a window
Yes.
around the window. In svenska karm,
Yes.
it's like a different angle or a break in the angle.
Yes. Yes.
The edges
Axel.
of the window.
Yes. I mean, it is actually a window in the sense that you are going through something. Now, when you go through something, there is something different will be there. That you can consider the consequences. You know, whenever you I choose this window, then you go out of that window, and then there's a different scene. If you go out of that window, then there is a different scene. Basically, when you're choosing the windows, basically. So that is the decision making which you do anyways. So, like, for human beings, it is important to understand that action will have consequence. Okay. So if you don't use your body properly, the consequence will not just be for the body. It'll be for your mind, it'll be for your psychological nature, it'll be for your spirit as well. Because body, mind, spirit is like a triangle. Okay. So right now what is happening is that most people's body and mind are too connected. Like this, like this, like this. So whatever the mind tells, the body does. Okay. There's no separation between mind and body. You know, like if you give some candies to a kid, what will it do? If you put a candy bowl in front of it, what will it do? Anyone? Eat it, like, so it'll eat one. Okay, then it'll eat the second. It'll eat the third. It'll not stop, right? It'll keep on eating until it gets sick. Okay, it has to get sick before it stops. So that is the mind, right? Telling eat another one. Eat another one. And what is the body doing? Just following it. Body is just following it. Okay. So we can't have that. We have to create a separation between the mind and the body, where the body doesn't automatically do what the mind tells it to do. Okay. So for that, you have to take control of the body through your what? Consciousness. Or what is consciousness? Now you might ask me, what is consciousness? Okay. Like, for example, if you're thinking any thought right now, any thought at all, okay, and if you have something inside you which can watch your thought, own thought, like whatever you're thinking, you can know that I'm thinking this, right? There is something inside you which can see your own thoughts, right? And can know that this is what I'm thinking. That thing is your consciousness. Now that thing has to take control of your body, not your mind. Okay? Not the mind. That consciousness has to take control of your body. And if you're going to do that, then you'll find that a lot of things which in the modern world are called all kinds of psychological problems, mental problems, diseases, physical, mental, spiritual, all have the root cause in that lack of discipline. So discipline has become a very bad word right now, but it is the most important thing. And each human being, once you're given a human body, it's your responsibility to have that discipline towards that tool. Like right now you have this camera, like for example, then you use that camera nicely, right? You don't throw it, you don't try to that thing, you try to take good nice care of it so that it functions, right? So the same you have to do with the body, even more, much more with the body than with the camera, right? Because which is a more sophisticated equipment, camera or your body? Body, right? So your whole focus should be much more on your, for example, people are wearing watches right now, okay, but they don't know that how that affects the body or how that harms the body, you know, because you have a heartbeat here, okay, your pulse comes here, okay. Now does your heart beat like a clock? Does your heart beat like a clock? Does any human's heart beat like a clock, like where its heartbeat is exact second per second like a watch? If it were so, if any human being's heart beat like that, that human being will have zero immune system and will die within a day. Heart has a variability. It's called heart rate variability, HRV. Okay? And that defines your immune system. It defines your health. Now you put a watch on top of it, which is machine beat, on top of this beat, which is an organic beat. Now those two beats will collide. So you are affecting your heart in a negative manner for no rhyme or reason.
If you have a digital, is it okay?
Digital also has got a crystal in it. A crystal which is giving it that time. It's more subtle, not mechanical, but it still has a beat.
So the watch I have,
No, you can't, don't disturb your pulse. You cannot disturb your pulse.
so my watch does that.
Yeah. So you cannot disturb your pulse, for example. You cannot disturb your pulse. And for no rhyme or reason. In this day and age, you don't need to. In mobile, you always get the time, right? Why do you need a watch? For what purpose? So this thing is like, either you want to torture your body unnecessarily, or you want your well-being. Again, my question came down to, do you really want your well-being? If you want your well-being, you will have to learn the real knowledge of this nature and this universe or multiverse we are inside of. Once you learn that, then you can apply that. Okay, and then you will get your well-being, not just for present but for future, for all of your future. I mean, no one likes to get sick, no one likes to have any kind of problems, but people get. That's why we have a world full of hospitals, right, where people are having all kinds of issues all the time. And the issues are increasing day by day. They're not decreasing. Because the human instrument is not being used properly. And we are torturing it in thousands of ways. Thousands of ways which we don't even know. Like the watch thing, a lot of people did not know that out here. That they're torturing their heart by wearing a watch. You know, you don't like to hear two songs at the same time, right? Like if one song is playing, another song plays on top of it. Will that muddle the other song or not? It will muddle the other song, right? So it's just common sense, right? So there's so many things which like people are doing, which people think are healthy, like people are jogging. Okay, people think that is a healthy thing to do. But you're actually shaking your whole internal system. And you're jogging on hard surface, you're shaking your body, you're creating problem for your joints and all kinds of things, which will show up in your old age. So whatever we even think of as healthy right now is not really healthy. And why has that happened? Because we have lost connection with nature. Okay, so we have lost our natural common sense. And we have to get that back. And it starts with your own self and your own body. Okay. So, anyone, any questions up to what I've spoken up till now? Anyone who has any questions? Yes.
What about, I didn't get that about the watch.
Yes. Yes, you have your heart here, right?
Yes.
In the left hand side. Your pulse comes here. Pulse. Yes. When your doctor can see your pulse from here. Okay. So your heartbeat is here. Yes. Okay. Now, like you have a beat. Now your watch also has a machine beat, like tick, tick, tick. Yeah.
No, but it should maybe.
Yeah, it has. Like that's why it gives that time to you. So that's a machine beat. Okay. But your heart does not beat like that.
No.
Okay. So if you have two songs playing at the same time, if you put radio on and one song and another song, what will happen between the two songs?
They will be
Clashing, disharmony. So this will create disharmony with this song.
So I should take it
Yes,
off?
yeah, take it off because you already have a song playing here. You have a song playing here. You don't want to disturb that song. Why do you want to disturb that song? Yeah, there's no reason for you to do it. But you have to know that first. A song is playing here. And when you go to the doctor can hear that song. You know, and that's what the difference between machine beats and organic beats is. You know, like why is machine beat music bad for human beings? Like right now there's a lot of techno music, right? What they call techno music. It's made on computers. So the beats are made on computers. You know, human being is playing those. They're exact. Okay. But when a human being plays any drum or any instrument, there's a breath in it. It's not exact. It is never exact. There is a breath to it. Now that breath is the breath of life. Okay. Like you cannot, otherwise, like that's like becoming a robot. Like human body is not designed like a robot. You know, that's why your heart has variability. It always will beat in an irregular fashion. Okay, and at high level medical sciences, they know that HRV defines your immune system. Your heart rate variability is the thing which defines your immune system. And it gets closer to golden ratio. If your HRV gets closer to golden ratio, which is 1.618, then you will have what is called a heart of gold. That's where your immune system will be perfect. You will not get any disease. This is all real science now. So there is a whole actual science to it, but we are not taught all of this at school, right? These are the things which should be taught at school, at the basic. I mean, this should be basic education. But if that is not there, right now we have things like internet. We have things like other things where people can get educated. If you want to learn, there is a place to learn on this earth right now. If you really want to learn. And if you don't want to learn, then you will never get your well-being. So for well-being, learning attitude is absolutely the word, what is the Swedish word for essential?
Essential.
It's the same.
Essential.
Essential only?
Essential.
Okay. So it's
Yes.
absolutely,
Most important.
yeah. I mean, you cannot get to that without that. You just cannot. Okay? And then once you learn, you have to, what do you have to do after that? No. Apply, yeah. Practice. Apply. Once you learn, you have to apply. Right? So we have to apply. Okay. So like, and there is no age for learning attitude. I mean, even a 5-year-old might not have it, and a 70-year-old might have it. Okay? There is no particular age for learning attitude. Anyone can have learning attitude. So there is no bar to that. Okay? But it is something which you can only have when you want your well-being. Then you're eager to know. You want to know. And the first thing you should want to know when you are taken a human birth is what? What should you want to know first? What should be your very first wanting when you take a human birth? No, very first wanting. Like once you become conscious, when you are 3-4 years old. What should you want to know first?
Remember.
What should you want to know first? Yes. You should want to know what to do with this. I have got this now. What am I going to do with this? That's the first thing you want to learn, right? That's where the learning starts from. The birthplace of learning. Because that's a sensical thing. That's a sensical thing to do. To want to learn. Like how to use this instrument. You have this instrument now. You have to use it. Okay. So for that you have to learn what you are going to do with this. And if you're going to start filling it up with crap, people, bad diet, alcohol, all kinds of things, what are you doing? You are saying that I don't actually want to learn how to use this thing. And whenever you say no to learning attitude, what happens? Your problem starts. Your well-being gets affected. Right? Right? So human beings have freedom, they have free will, but it has to be used properly. If you want your well-being. If you don't want your well-being, you can do whatever you want. There's no problem. Then you can face the music. You do something, you face the music. You do something, then you face the music. That's how the game goes, basically. But if you want your well-being properly, holistic, in a full holistic sense, you want nothing bad to happen to you. You want pleasure, not pain. You want bliss, not torture. Okay? Who prefers bliss here to torture? Bliss or torture? Like people can speak from the mouth.
Yes.
Everyone, I should be able to hear everyone. Like bliss or torture?
Bliss.
Okay, that's it. Pleasure or pain?
Pleasure.
Okay. Let's be clear and loud about this. Okay, we have to be loud about this. Because this choice seems so normal and simple, but it's not so simple. People actually do not make this choice. If you actually make this choice, things will become much more easier for you. If you actually make this choice, this whole world will change for you. What you do in it, how you handle yourself, everything changes. Just by that one choice, an affirmation. So, if you are actually taking care of your own body properly, what are you doing? Are you connecting with nature or not?
Connected.
You are connecting with nature. Just through your own body itself. Then, how you use that body in an environment, like in a forest or in a lake, then also you are connecting. But you know how to connect. Because you're connected with your own body first. That's how you know how to connect with anything else later. Whether it's another human being, nature, surrounding, anything. Okay? So that's my main important point I wanted to get across. And because I think out here, like, people have interest in nature in Scandinavia, and they do go out camping and they do have but they are not still connecting with it in the way nature should be connected with. There is a lack of respect. There's a lack of sensitivity. There's a lack of, let's say, grace in the way this is done. So if all those things are brought into the thing, then we'll be going towards a more realistic connection, which will be worthwhile for yourself and elating. It'll give you pleasure and bliss. A being, if they connect with nature properly, they can never be depressed. Depression is not possible for a being which is connected with nature properly. It's just not. So, like, we have to understand, we have to, like, take the positive thing. The positive thing in Scandinavia right now is that people do want to connect with nature, right? And people have a, like, appreciation of it. You know, like, you don't want to cut all the forest down, right? In Sweden, do you? No, you want it there. Now, if it's there, you have to know how to deal with it, how to enjoy it, like how to make sure that it helps you you have a symbiotic relationship where you get healthier with proper dealings with it. So all of that has to be done, and the whole journey starts with your own self and body and centering. And the eye exercise we did, you should, like, this is a simple posture, anybody can do it. And even if you don't do that like that, there are other ways to get into centered. Even when you're standing, you can be centered. In different ways, you can be centered at all times, you know. So it's not just a thing that like you have to be exactly in this posture, but there are various postures to be centered, but this is the best one. And after a while, it'll become normal for you. Like, your legs won't hurt or anything, because yes, because there is no practice of it, right? So it's not like a yoga asana or anything, you know. It's not like you're putting your leg behind your head or things like that, you know. We're not talking that kind of stuff here. So that's not necessary, you know. And I mean, I consider yoga to be not like a scam, like, you know, but again, like aerobics and different things, which is not necessary for human body. But we don't have time to go into that right now. So out here, I would just want people to understand that you have to center using your body and keep your posture centered. And all meditation is, there's, how many kinds of meditations are there in this world? People are being taught. How many? Thousands? Thousands of types of meditations in this world, right? Thousands of types of meditation. When I'm saying the word meditation by itself means one thing only: centering. There is no other meditation. There is only one, which is keeping your body centered. If anyone tells you any other way, then they should not use the word meditation. They should use some other word for it. Because once you use that word, it will automatically mean centering. It will not mean anything else. And never think that spiritual and physical are separate. Spiritual and physical are the same things. If you have physical common sense, you will have spiritual sense. It's not like you don't have any physical common sense, but you will have spiritual sense. That's not possible. It's a schizophrenia, which has been created in our human brain, that physical and spiritual are separate things. They are not. They are one thing only. So we have to take away all this, and when you come to the center, this schizophrenia will go out of your head. That physical and spiritual means separate, different things. Okay, so Matthias, can we do some of the music, art things and stuff like that? Okay. And this construct we are in, this space. Yeah.
Guitar or that one?
Yeah, just guitar. I'll just introduce them to first a concept. Like, Yeah. This whole construct we are in, like which is called universe or multiverse, what you want to call it, is electromagnetic in nature. Your body also is electromagnetic in nature. Everything you see, earth, leaves, trees, stones, everything is electromagnetic in nature. Okay. Everything around us. Okay. So electricity and sound are everywhere. Like they say, word makes the world. Okay. So between word and world there is just a L. Word and world, there's an L. L is just like a turn. One turn. Like this. So from word sound comes this creation. Okay. So sound is a very important thing. So why I'm using an electromagnetic device? This is an amplifier, right? It's an electromagnetic device. Okay. Because it resonates directly with your, like you can have just, like when you have acoustic guitar, what do you have? Metal strings, right? Strings, metal strings, or plastic or metal, whatever. And you just jangle them. But there's no electricity in that. Okay, it's just metal jangling. Okay, metal jangling can never come to the feeling which electricity and magnetism produces. Okay, so that's why I'm just gonna give you a couple of chords and we'll do the R thing along with those chords. Okay, the R sound which we did before. Okay, so. With the first thing, you can follow me. Okay, now I should be able to hear you, everyone together. Okay, with the first chord. So this R exercise can be actually fun. You can make it fun for yourself. Okay, you don't have to become a singer, right, or vocalist, but you do it in various ways which makes it easier for you. Okay, like it should not be boring. The first thing is any spiritual or right physical action should not be boring. Okay, because if it's boring, no one wants to do it, right? Right. So that's the whole point. It should be fun. Okay, like so you can make it fun for yourself. Like anything can be made fun, but within the discipline of centering. Okay, so it's not like fun cannot be had. In fact, a disciplined person can have much more fun than a non-disciplined person. That's a fact. Okay. So, but the thing is, you have to have the right attitude about it. Okay. So I'm just gonna do some sounds, and you people can be in the right posture and just enjoy. And you can close your eyes, do whatever you feel like, and I'm just going to do some sounds. So that kind of delicacy and stuff with nature, like we are in a natural space, and we have both kinds of things. We have some delicacy and nice and gentleness happening, and we are seeing some other kind of sounds from other places too, and so you can tell there's a difference. So I'm just trying to give you a way to approach nature, like what should be the general feeling as we approach nature. Like we have another example happening in our background, and we should have a different kind of way to approach nature. And if people get towards that, if any of that, so my visit here will be worth it. If people get a little bit of this feeling that something has to change in the way we are connecting with nature, approaching nature, and how we are actually using our own nature, which is our own body, basically, which is nature only, and how we are using that. So if that consciousness comes that I have to use my body properly and I can't just shove like alcohol and drugs and strange things and bad food into it, it's not a waste bin, My body is not a dustbin which I throw junk into. So like if this kind of consciousness comes, then like my talking to you will be worth it. So, any questions, anyone, about anything at all? Not what I've spoken about. Yes.
I didn't really get what you said about the heart ratio when you talked about the clock, and so there should be a special thing that didn't educate
if you
people.
go on Google
Yeah.
and type in heart rate variability,
Okay.
HRV, you'll
Okay.
find that human heart does not beat like a watch.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. That I understand.
Okay, so there's a thing called heart rate variability. So now heart is beating out here, your pulse is here, right? So you have a song playing which is variable. It's not like machine is like what? Tuck, 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 exact, right? Your watch is exact beats. Okay, your heart is not beating like that. Now when you put two beats together, which is one is like that and another is not like that, what will you get? Interference. Okay, it's called interference. So you'll get an interference. Like if you play two songs together, same time, what happens? Can you hear that song?
No.
No. So you're putting another song on top of that song. This song disturbs this song, and this causes your song to be disturbed. So your HRV gets disturbed. That lowers your immune system. It lowers your spirituality. It affects your spirit directly. So you don't even know it's affecting your physical body. It's affecting your health, and it's affecting your spirit, all at the same time. Okay, so that's why one should not wear a watch. Okay, that's what I said. And if the doctors at the top level know that HRV defines our immune system, human body's immune system is defined by heart rate variability. Okay. Yeah, so that's all. Yeah. Anything else? Anyone? Yes, sir. Actually.
With the nakshatras, the lunar constellation divided into 12 months or 27 nakshatras, and you get trines, three times 9, say the nose, the heart, and the knees.
Yeah.
How can one use these insights to balance the body?
Like body is going to form a triangle anyways. Like you said, from nose to knees, right now is a triangle, right? Like this to this and this, like that's a triangle anyways, isn't it? And the triangle is actually Taurus face, nose, and stomach, Virgo, and knees, Capricorn, right? That's a triangle. Okay, 2, 6, 10. Okay, 1, 5, 9. Head, heart, and thighs. Okay, so there are different triangles.
But you wouldn't recommend to go into the physique of it more to keep it.
Yeah, but if you keep your own
Just
body
being
centered,
tranquil,
if you are keeping your own triangle proper, then automatically all triangles will fall into place. So you have a triangle like this and a reverse triangle, which is called, like this. And then one triangle is like that, another is like that. They meet together. You get like a Star of David forming within your own body. And that starts rotating. And that's what creates a higher flux field through your center of the spine, which is called Kundalini. Okay, so, but all of that will happen automatically. First, you have to start taking care of your own body in that way. You have to start centering your body before you go to secondaries. So you have to start from primaries before you go into secondaries and tertiaries, right? That is later. But you have to start from step 1. Right now, human beings are at step 1 because majority of the population on this earth do not know anything about centering or how to use their body. That's the sad truth of right now. Okay, so we have to do that first. Before that, talking anything else becomes useless if a being is not even doing that. So that's, yeah. Anything else? Anyone? Yes.
Do you think it's a good thing for the human being to sleep in nature?
Yes. Yes.
Do you think it's a good thing to use a tent or?
I mean, you have to use a tent out here because it's so cold. Most important thing for the human body to do is not to torture it. Okay. You can keep that as a mantra. Do not. What? Let's fill in the blanks. Do not
Torture.
the
Body.
the body. Yeah. Do not torture the body. Okay.
Shall you use the word not?
Do not.
It's not better to change it to the positive.
Okay. You can just. How will you change torture to positive?
I want to heal my body.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Wellness.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we started with.
Yeah, exactly. So forget about not.
Yeah. No, but there are some people who are very into torturing. For them, they have to go like that.
I was thinking about hiking.
Yes.
And a lot of things that you carry with you, not to make it comfortable.
Yes.
But
Okay.
it weighs, so it's a balance, I guess. But how do you find the good balance between carrying the comfortable stuff and?
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, you find the best possible way for yourself to be closer without exerting yourself. Okay. Like if you are a kind of person who can just sleep in a quilt and that thing roll around in that like a sleeping bag or whatever, then that's good enough. But then don't go that far. Don't have to go that far. You don't have to conquer that. Like right now, this particular part of the forest is very close by to you, right? That part. Just use that. Learn to use this first before you move forward. You don't have to rush into that something back behind there. Forest will pretty much remain the same. Even if you walk 5 miles or you walk 10 miles. Pretty much same kind of thing will keep on repeating itself. Just utilize what is there in front of you first. Okay? So in that kind of way, not have this sense of that there is something different or something great 5 miles from there. There might be something good enough just where you are. Right? So, yeah. So we should not rush and run like that. We should try and do the thing which we can, where we are first. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
You are thinking that Earth is flat.
I'm not thinking anything.
You say the Earth is flat.
Yes.
How do you know? How do you know that?
I mean, all the technical, empirical evidence from all the experiments which are done have shown it to be flat. Okay. And funny thing you asked that because my father was in Indian Air Force. You know Air Force? Yeah, so they fly jets. Okay, so they fly jets at a very low altitude, like 50 meters sometimes, at very high speeds. 1 Mach, 2 Mach, that speeds. But they never have to actually change their throttle up and down at all for long distances. If Earth was not flat, they would have to change that thing because the ground will slope after a while. But they don't have to do anything. They always stay on the same course without any problems. And even if you go to an airline pilot, they'll tell you even if they fly 6,000 miles over that thing, they never have to do any.
But the moon and the sun,
Yeah, they're round,
they are round.
but not that doesn't mean a ball. Even a plate is round. Even a plate is round, but that doesn't make it a ball. There's a difference between round and a sphere, right? All round things are not spheres. Right?
So the sun and
Like if you take water in a plate, right? It'll stay. You put water on a ball. It's not gonna. Under no experimental condition can they prove that water can stay on a ball.
the ball is often has no ground.
Any experimental conditions, you can in a laboratory where you create 0G conditions, anything, you cannot put water on a ball and make it stay there. But the thing is natural common sense. I talked about natural common sense. That will increase. The more you connect with nature, your whole sense increases. Whatever we are taught in school, then you will not just believe it. You are told to believe that sun is having nuclear fusion, right? Nuclear fusion is happening inside the sun. How do you know? You've never been there. You have no idea. They've just told you something that nuclear fusion is happening out there.
The school system are
Yeah.
fooling us.
Yes.
And are programming
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
to
Yes,
just be
but
straight
without
forward
any proof.
and material things.
Yes, but all the proofs which were done of Earth, like where there was Michelson-Morley experiment done to see whether Earth is rotating or not, they found that Earth is completely still. That was in 1890s. All the experiments done since have found that Earth is completely still. Earth is not moving at all. But they're still teaching this theories at school. So what all these things are called what at school? Theory. Gravity is what? Theory. Big Bang is what? Theory. Anything, evolution is what? Theory. Everything they teach you at school is theory. They don't call it fact. If it was the truth, they should be called fact of this. It should not be called theory, right?
The sun has to move in winter time to flatter, and the sun has to go in out.
See, if it is rotating closer to the north side, you have summer in Sweden. Okay, when it goes farther away towards Australia side, then Australia has summer, and what do you have? Winter. Simple.
So the sun goes
Yes.
in
Out, in and out. It's called movement, northern movement of the sun and the southern movement of the sun. It's in all the mythologies.
and the moon
Same with moon,
in out.
rotating. You can check in all the mythologies, Norse mythology, Vedic mythology, everything is Earth is a flat plane in all mythologies. All of them. Yes.
I have another question.
Yes.
Does time exist?
Okay. I'll answer it like this. Okay. Right now is the present. Okay, like you call it the present. This is the moment right now. Okay. Now, after some moments, there'll be another moment. Whether you might be traveling somewhere or something you'll be doing. Okay. Now, like if in a moment you are having some pain, okay, any moment, and then that pain goes on to another moment, and then to another moment, and then to another moment, if it lasts, yes, so then you know that something is happening which is elongating something. That's all, right? That elongation of anything is time. Okay. Yeah, so it does exist in different ways. It's not the same for every, like for example, we are in this plane, so we have a particular kind of time. If you're in another plane, you will have another kind of time, but it will still exist. Time will exist. Yes.
The
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
will exist,
Yeah.
but the future and the past,
Yes.
that's a part of the time.
Yes.
And if time exists, that should exist right now.
See, like when you have done something in the past, okay, like I'll explain to you how past exists. Okay, first in this, like you might eat like a food somewhere, right, and it had some bacteria or something was wrong with it. So you eat it day earlier, okay, and then you get food poisoning a day later, and your stomach hurts now. Okay, so that past is there in the now. Okay, so whenever you do actions, for example, like how people live in the youth, okay, and they go to old age, right? So if they were drinking a lot and then the liver is going bad in the old age, right, then that past is coming into the present through that event. So past is also living with us always. Like right now you are a sum total of all of your past in the present. So that past is there with you. It's actually there. Like, so, yeah. Yes.
And do you visualize the Earth or like a miniature version of the Earth?
Yes.
And where in the body would you meditate? Or above your head, or in the heart region, or on the ground, or?
Human body is made of the earth element as a whole. So your whole body is earth element. So you can meditate on all of your body, you are meditating on the earth element. On meditating, you mean by focusing. Meditation just means center. I've already told you. You are talking about focusing.
Yes.
Okay, focus means you have to focus anywhere in the body. That's earth element. Because human's body's prime element is the earth element.
But it's 70% water.
That's what they tell you. I mean, have you seen water hold shape? Does water hold shape? If you're made of water only, would you just like not just flow away somewhere? Are you flowing away? You're not. You're holding quite firm in what that thing is, isn't it? That firmness comes from which element? Which element amongst the 5 can give you firmness? Which element has firmness? Like earth. Human beings are made of earth primarily. They have the other 4 elements too. But the primary element of a human being is earth. Okay. Yeah. Like, so there are beings which are made of primarily fire or primarily air. They're called elementals. We can't see them because they don't have the earth element.
What would you call beings living in the electric grid?
Yeah.
A new kind of
yeah, but they know there are a lot of beings like beings stay within the radio frequencies. Like right now we have internet, right? We have wireless. You can't see the wireless signal, but it's there. Radio signal, you can't see the radio signal, but it's there. And there are beings which live in the same frequency bandwidth as radio signals. That's why on radio you can sometimes hear voices of those beings even interacting with each other. If you go to shortwave and really look out for it in between frequencies, you'll find them. So yeah. Yes.
A question about consciousness. Does consciousness start? How does it start?
Okay. Like what we call consciousness in scientific terms is charge coherence. Okay, let's say in this multiverse, charge is always there. It has no beginning and end. No beginning, no end. It's always there. Okay. Now, if you take some charge and if you cohere it in a certain manner, you get consciousness. It becomes self-aware. Consciousness is basically self-awareness. Okay. So, if you take it in, like for example, the difference between a laser light and a torch light. You know, if you have a torch light goes up to like small distance, up to the tree, like right? Just there the torch light will go up to. But a laser will go many miles, right? What is the difference? They're both light. That is also light, that is also light. But the difference between them is coherence. Laser has much more coherence, so it travels farther. Same way, all beings have different level of coherence, internal charge coherence, which is called their spirit. That spirit has the consciousness of self-awareness, that I exist, I am. Like everyone can get that feeling, I am a being, I exist. That sense comes from that charge coherence, and different beings have that to a different level, depending on their level of coherence. That's why all beings are not the same. Everyone is at a different level, depending on their level of coherence. And that is the spirit which leaves the body, this physical body, at the moment of what they call death.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
What is the meaning of life?
Meaning of life. First, like when I asked everyone, what do they want? Pleasure or pain?
Pleasure.
Bliss or torture? Everyone wanted pleasure, everyone wanted bliss. So the meaning of life is having an enjoyable experience, right? Enjoyable experience. That's like existence. You're asking an existential question, like what is existence for? Existence is for enjoying and having pleasure. It's for having a good time. Okay, that's what it is for, you know. But for that you have to know something, like as a human being, like your pleasure is limited. Okay, you have a limited amount of pleasure because whenever you're having pleasure, like you enjoy eating toffee, but then it causes you stomach ache, so pain follows. So that's not considered pleasure. Pleasure should be such that when you have pleasure, there should be more pleasure, not pain afterwards. Okay, so the meaning of life for a human being is to evolve to a state where only pleasure comes and non-pain does not come. Because in your state you are getting Like, I consider this like a prison place. Like Earth is like a prison. Okay? Your body is like a prison too. Human body. But you have to get out of that prison. For a human being, getting out of that prison is the meaning of life. Because once you get out of the prison, you can experience pleasure without
Not without, but I
Without
guess
pain.
you have freedom
pain.
without pain.
You don't want pain, right? But with a human birth, a lot of things are possible. Like suddenly you can get a disease. You don't like it. You don't want it. But you can get it. Right? You have a very small lifespan. How much is a human lifespan? Average.
80.
80, 90 maximum, right? 100 if push comes. So that's a very small lifespan. Are you okay with this much lifespan? Yeah.
Maybe
So
you have another life
yeah,
afterwards.
but my point is, but see, you have a very small lifespan, and then you start all over again. And when you start all over again, you don't have the knowledge. You have to get all the knowledge back up again. It's not fun. That's not fun, right?
No.
Okay, so you have to. So meaning of human life for human beings here, like meaning of life for some other beings, that will be different. But for human beings, it is to escape this cycle of birth and death, so that they get out of this cycle of pain. Okay, but for that you have to get to that consciousness first, that I'm actually trapped, that I'm in a prison. If someone knows they're in a prison, then they will try to escape the prison. But if they don't know they're in a prison, they will not try to escape. Right? So from the pleasure and bliss principle, you can understand everything. Because whole purpose of existence is bliss and pleasure. And if you're not getting it enough in this human, you have to go to some other state of being where you get it. Right? So that is meaning of life. Very simply for human beings. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know that I'm in a prison,
Yes.
but I don't know how to break out of it.
Very okay.
And I know that I stopped buy a lot of material things,
Yes.
and that's one way to get more free. But
Yes.
how can I be free?
Okay. Now you have reached a point where you understand that you are in a prison. Your consciousness has reached that point. Okay. Now, once you want to break the prison, then all that remains is a matter of learning, right? You'll have to learn how to break the prison. Okay. So when you are ready for learning that, the knowledge will come to you. Because today you are sitting here in front of me. Why? Because you want to learn, right? So you automatically taken the first steps towards it. That's what I'm telling you. First, take control of your body. First.
I've been reading your
Yeah,
book.
yeah. So like you should take off your watch first, right now. Yeah. Okay, you didn't do that. You learned, but you did not apply. Okay.
Careful how you invest.
Okay. So learning is of no use if you're not going to apply it, right? So learning should lead to application. Like how do you break a prison, you slowly start breaking one thing. It's an action, right? You have to do it, right? You have to take out break, and then create a hole, then run from it, right? What? So once you took this watch off, you've taken one break out. You have to throw away all the bricks, one by one. Okay? Are you understanding? So there is a way. Like if you want to do it, you have to learn to be practical. You cannot break the prison until you are. What is the word I said? Practical. Practicality. Do you understand that word? What is the word practical in Swedish? Like what is the
Same.
Praktisera.
Okay. I mean, does it have the same meaning? Like,
Yes.
As English?
Tillämpa också.
Yeah. Yes. So like you have to be practical. So you have to get a sense that I have to be more practical. Not just mental. There's a difference between being mental and practical. What is the word for mental?
Mental.
Tänka.
Many words is the same.
Speak Swedish.
Yeah. So mental and practical. Okay. you have to get out of the head and be practical. Okay? It's not going to happen by just thinking. You're not going to escape the prison by thinking.
But that's strange because I've been learning that I have to put positive thought, positive thinking in
Yes.
my head.
Yes.
Because if I think of all the negative,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, okay.
I get
I got your
sick
point.
and feel bad. But if I go
Yeah.
stay focused on the positive things, I feel better.
Okay. When you have your body under control, it is a very positive feeling. It is the most positive feeling a human being can have, is when you have your body under control first. Okay. So after that, negative thoughts don't even come to you. Right now, you are having negative thoughts. Now you are pushing and putting positive thoughts out there to counter those negative thoughts. You are creating a battle inside of yourself between positive and negative. I'm talking of a way where this battle finishes completely. You want this battle to finish completely. When you take control of your body, only positive, and you come into the center, only positive is going to happen automatically. You don't have to fight or reinforce. Positive mentalization. And again, speech is very important in it. Okay, if you say, I want pleasure, okay, I want my well-being, from your mouth every day, hundreds of times, then that is not a thought, just a thought. It's an action. You are saying this to the universe. You are actually doing this action. That has much more power than just thinking something. Like you can think, you know, I want my well-being or I want my pleasure. But if you don't speak it from your mouth and repeat it from your mouth, it has no power. You're not doing the practice. So any positive thing even has to be spoken by what? By mouth, by the body. So again, body is involved. Speaking is the only activity in which all the 5 layers of your body has 5 vital layers. Speaking is the only activity in which all the 5 vital layers are involved. Okay. So just thinking will not do. You will have to speak. That's what is called in the Vedic thing is a mantra. Okay. And mantra is repeated. Repetition. That's what work. That's like chipping away. You want to break out of the prison, isn't it? You said. So then you have to chip away. The chipping away will happen through your speech. After you are centered, you are going to speak the right things. Not nonsense from your mouth. Because as long as you eat food, right?
Yes.
So that you have energy after that, right? Now that energy you can use for speaking. Now for speaking, you can speak the right things. You can create the right affirmation, but through speech. If you sit quietly, nothing is going to happen. You will never break out of this prison. Because as long as you eat food, you have to use that food, energy properly. Multiverse is watching. It's a test. What you do with your food. Food means energy. Then there is use of energy. And you want to use your energy to break out of the prison, right? So then you start doing it.
I throw away a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And sell a lot of stuff. And I bought a van.
That's not important.
So I live in the nature.
It does not matter what you throw or not throw. Unless you speak the right things. Like a person can have 1,000 things and a person can have just one thing. But if the person is not speaking the right things from their mouth, none of it matters. Are you understanding me?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. It just comes down to your own body and what you're going to do with it. Are you going to speak the fact and the truth? Like even if you want pleasure, if you want bliss, you should speak that all the time. That will condition you. Like all your life will change. You will make decisions as per that.
Speak about what I want.
Yes, but you have to say it.
People speak about what they don't.
Yes,
So they do that wrong. So
Yes.
it's better to speak about
what you want, but you have to say it. But you have to not say it one time. You have to say it thousands of times. Thousands of times. Okay. Yes.
I am mostly alone,
Yes.
so I don't speak.
Yes. Okay. When you speak, you don't speak to another person. You're speaking into the air. You're speaking to the elements. You're always being heard. Even if you're alone, you're never alone. You are never alone. There is air around you, right? There are entities, there are beings. You are always under 24 hours watch.
Okay.
You are under 24 hours watch all the time anyways. You are never alone. When you speak, the universe listens. People don't have to listen. It's not for other people. It's for yourself. You're speaking for yourself, not for others.
Another thing.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I remember a very little bit about the life I lived before this life,
Yes.
and not much. I
Yes.
just remember my name, my parents, and the day I died, and I was 5 years.
Yes.
And this memory came to me when I was a very little girl, and I asked my mother why we couldn't go and visit those people, because I couldn't understand
Yes.
how it was going together.
Yes.
Do I have any benefit from remembering this?
Yes. I'll explain the benefit you have from remembering this. Okay. You of other people who don't have any such memory, you have that memory. Okay. So then you know that a previous life exists. So you know that reincarnation is there. You know that death is not the end. You know that life carries on after death. You know all these things from that, which other people, a lot of people doubt in this world. There are a lot of people in this world who doubt these things. So you, through that memory, you already passed all of that stage. So you are in a better position than all those people. Yes. So, yeah. Yeah, very nice questions. I enjoyed the questions actually. Like I've been enjoying the questions, and they've been like helping others like get to certain things, and so yeah, you've been very nice, and everyone has been like, and if people have any question about like anything, they can still ask. There's still time. So yeah.
Just unrelevant, but where in India are you from?
I consider myself from all over, because I told you before, my father was in Indian Air Force. So we stayed two years at one place. So I stayed all over India when I was growing up. So I can't say I'm from
Okay.
this
Because I
But
have a
this
very
part
good
of-
friend in Trivandrum,
Trivandrum, yeah.
in
South.
southwest.
Yeah, my current place where I stay in India is close to Kerala. It's a place called Karnataka where I stay, but that, yeah. But I can't say I'm from any. I consider it from all of the land, like. Yes. Yes.
Yes, you were talking about you want something like emotional
Bliss.
Yeah, I'll get rid of this everything we talk about. You can talk it out loud.
Yeah.
And then eventually something missing.
Yes.
Like you said, a human person.
Yes.
If I really want something and I speak it out.
Yes.
And I really want it.
Yes.
to happen.
No, then you will get the knowledge for it. Then you will get the knowledge for that. Then you will have to apply that knowledge.
Yes.
And so step 1 is you speak it out. Step 2 is you get the knowledge. Step 3 is you apply that knowledge. Okay, and then you get your goal, whatever you wanted. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
In this flat Earth vision,
Bhumandala. Bhumandal.
Buman,
Yeah.
you have salt water and sweet water.
Yes.
What are the different qualities of those types of water, and what's the difference between them?
Right. Salt water, conducts what? Electricity.
Yeah.
Salt water conducts electricity. Why is your blood salty? Human blood is salty, right?
Yeah.
Because it has to conduct electric charge all over the body, in the brain synapses and everything. There are parts in your body where between the salt water and the pure water, there'll be a charge difference. Like in a battery, you need what in a battery? Distilled water, right? Pure distilled water. So between salt water where charge is being connected and normal pure water, there will be a charge difference, differential difference, potential difference. That potential difference creates charge movement, because our body is an electronic machine. It's an electrical machine, right? So you need both those waters in the earth and in your body to create the charge potential difference.
Okay, so
Yeah.
between this lake water and the salt, there is a potential.
You have
charge,
potential difference, yes.
charge.
Potential difference,
it's
yes.
Connected via
Yes,
some charge.
and the land between that is dielectric. It's called a dielectric.
What is that?
Dielectric is a thing like which is put in capacitors in between, which stores charge. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's where land and water is there. It's called a sound. Like in Seattle, they have water, then land and water, then land and water, and then that land, if you do a sound, then the charge projection is much higher than other places. In Sweden also, you might have some places where there's water, land, So that will be called the sound. In America, that's called a sound. Like in Seattle, they have Puget Sound. They have this sound.
Yeah, the sound here between Copenhagen and
Yeah.
Sweden. In English, it's called the sound.
Yeah, in the sound. Yes.
We call it Öresund. We've added on top of the sound.
Öresund,
we
yeah.
have Ö, so
Yeah.
it's a little higher.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, like this country is called Sverige. Sverige?
Sverige.
Sverige, yeah. Yeah, that is from the Sanskrit swarg. Sanskrit is swarg. Swarg means heaven. Okay. so this is like tending towards heaven. Not heaven, but tending towards it. So the nature is good here, but again people have to connect with it. Nature is by itself is of no use if people don't connect with it properly. So that is very important. And most of our school and education right now has put us in a total collision course with nature and ourselves. So people have to completely ignore all the education what we have been given and taught at schools. Everything we have been taught at schools is wrong. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Okay, so and once you know the truth of your own body, you will come to know that yourself. Yeah.
with the nakshatras in the zodiac, 27 nakshatras, it takes 27 days.
Yes.
With the sun and lunar relationships and so on, it's on there.
Yeah.
And then you have the alphabet, which
Yeah.
is tending around 27 letters.
Yeah. Yes.
When you use something, when you hammer on somebody, always using these 27, it's like you would spell.
Yeah, that way, like moon also has 27, 28 days. It takes the cycle to finish 27 and a half days.
Yeah, but you can say A, B, C, D,
Yeah.
E, F,
Yeah.
X, Y.
Yeah, a moon goes through one nakshatra in one day, right? Like one constellation in one day. Like that's a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you would use all these nakshatras and when you speak to someone, it's a particularity with the alphabeta languages.
Yes, obviously. I mean, because nothing is
looking at
disconnected.
Chinese or
Because nothing is
Sanskrit
disconnected.
Or runeskrifts, as we have original stones. here.
Obviously, there is no such thing as disconnected. Everything is a whole, right? Only in the modern day and age we have created separations. Like, okay, this is astrology, this is music, this is maths, this is science, this is art, this is that. In reality, all these things are the sacred geometry. All are same thing. Everything is holistic. Everything is connected to each other. You can't have Ayurveda not connected to Jyotish, like science of healing not connected to science of anything else. Sound, music, you can't have this disconnection. The more holistic you get, the more it solves everything. That's why the English word holy, H-O-L-Y, is missing a W. They've deliberately taken the W out. So when you say holy, you don't know what holy is. Because holy is only W is there. So W-H-O-L-Y, that means whole is holy. When you are whole and holistic, then you are holy. Otherwise, you are not holy. What is the word for holy in Swedish?
Helig.
Heli.
Helig.
Heli.
Heli.
And that also means whole. Hel.
Okay. So it has to be whole. In that language also, like it has to be a whole. So first we have to take out all these things from our mind, that any subject is separate from anything else. We have to take that out from our consciousness completely. Everything is one connected whole. Like life is a whole thing. Like if you don't know how to live, if you don't know how to use your body first, I mean, what if you try to learn anything? How can you learn anything? What is the even point of you trying to learn anything? If you can't even do that, how can you learn anything? It's not possible. I mean, right now people are trying to do PhDs in different things. Are they learned people just because they've done a PhD?
Full of alphabeta people.
Yeah, but I mean that has made you mad. If you go in a specific direction without taking the whole with you, because if you're going to rise or if you're going to evolve, you're going to rise as a whole. You're not going to rise in parts. Your whole being will rise or whole being will fall. Everything is as a whole. Nothing is in parts. You can't shoot one part up, another part going down. You have to rise as a whole. Okay. And then only that's the holy thing to do. Holy thing is to be holistic. That's the only holy thing to do. So you have to take up this modern thinking of fragmentation of mind. Like this is a geologist, this is a botanist, there's none of these things. You are a human being living life, and you have to know how to live life so that you evolve as a whole and you rise as a whole. You're not anybody else. There's no other designation to any being. And you're not a name, like you're not a name, you're a being. Everyone is a...
What?
All of people out here are a being. Like whatever people think that they are Jack or John or... What are the names in Sweden? Whatever the names are, like, you know, the names, Carlson, whatever, like, yeah. So people think that they are those names, right? But you're not that name. You are a being.
My name is Axel.
Yeah.
It's like an axis. It's the same.
Or an axe which you, that thing a tree with. Yeah.
We call it yxa. I'm saved by the bell on that one so far.
Yeah. The point is, the name is not important. Like even if you did have another name tomorrow, you'll still be the same being. So your being is something different. You have to focus on your beingness, which they don't tell you right now. They tell you like you're a doctor, or you're that thing, or you are this, you are that. No, you are not any of those things. You are a being. And that's the whole thing. Your being is a whole thing. All your body, mind, spirit, everything is together as one whole, which makes your being. Now you have to make that whole being rise up. When you rise that up, you will break the prison. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
A question about breathing. During the day, you breathe through your nose and you change from left to right.
Yes.
About 3 hours or so.
Yes.
Why does it change? Why doesn't
Because you are not in the center. Once you are in the center, both of your right and left nostrils will be breathing equally all the time. That's why it happens. Yes.
I think you said before that you believe in reincarnation.
I don't believe in anything, first. I don't believe in anything. Believing is lying. Lie. There's a lie in between. Okay, either you know something or you don't know something. There's no believing. There's no such thing as believing. Believing is a problem. Okay, that means you don't know something. Like you don't have to believe you're sitting there right now, do you? No. Like you are sitting there. Okay, so it should be like that. Everything should be like that. Okay, so I mean everything can be known. Yeah. For a fact, like I'm seeing you, you're seeing me, like that. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If I rephrase the question,
Yeah.
if you have loved ones
Yeah.
that
Yes.
pass away, do you think it's possible to
Contact them.
their presence in some way?
Okay, the thing is, when beings leave this body, they usually take up another body, and that's quite fast. Doesn't take much time. So they're already in another body. For example, when she was a loved one of someone and she went away and she took this body already, now they can't contact her because she's in this body. There's no question of contacting because you're taking another body anyways. So yeah.
No, I died in 1938.
Yeah.
And I was reborn in 1941.
Okay, 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the realm which you go into out there, for there like 10-15 minutes out there are 3 years of human existence here.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't remember anything of these 3.
Because that's very fast. That process happens in another realm very fast, which is called astral, and it happens very fast out there, and in that meantime a lot of time is passed here. But anyways, you're not contactable from human point of view. Yeah. Very nice. Like we are covering a lot of different ground. It's nice. Yeah. Yes.
Same as the previous talk. 1 minute left, and I stopped it, and it's like finished.
Okay. I mean, anything more like in the future or whatever. I mean, I have a book out here, Peace Gita. You can go through it, and when you go through that book and stuff, like I would suggest you actually speak it from the mouth, and rather than just mentally read it. Whenever you should do something, do it from the mouth. Okay, rather than just do it mentally. Okay, it has more sense. You get a different sense of things when you do it like that than just mentally do anything. And there is more information on my website, LotusOcean.net, and different things you can get, and you can connect with Matthias anytime, and he's there. So like any other future things you want to know.
Will this planet vanish?
Vanish?
Because of the temperature changes?
A lot of the things which they talk about temperature, global warming, they're not true. Like it's getting hotter. Some places it's getting colder too. So it's not. Yeah. whatever they say about weather and stuff is not true. Yeah. Don't believe.
What do you think about Sweden and the Swedes?
I've been here just for 3-4 days.
Yeah.
I've just been here 3-4 days for the first time.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're learning.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I'm
Very
seeing.
diplomatic.
What are
I'm seeing. I'm not giving any verdict. I mean, I said in my talk about some things, like how they should connect with nature, and what they're actually doing, what they're doing wrong, and like that much I can see. But as a whole, I mean, there's an open energy, like there is and if there's a thing for learning, then that's a good thing. Like if people want to learn, that's always a good thing, Yeah, should not be closed like to learning. So that's. I mean, I've not been to Norway, so I can't compare Swedes to Norway.
Nearly the same.
Yeah. Yes. So, yeah, I heard it's more depressing out there, but yeah.
Beautiful nature, even there.
Yes. No, but like people-wise, yeah. Yes.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Do we have what do you say? Does things happen
Yes.
as a destiny, or is it just our choice? Or-
Okay.
yeah.
What you call destiny right now is your own actions from the past. You have created what you in the present
Yeah.
call destiny. Now, what you do right now will make your future. So you will make your future destiny right now from your actions. Right now. So you are the creator of your destiny.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the universe, if I say the universe,
Yes.
does it have a plan? Are we
It has only one plan.
okay?
That every being should have a fun, good time. No one should suffer.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only plan it has.
Okay.
Okay.
Life's a fun.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there any God?
God is a very misunderstood term right now. It's a term which I don't like to use. But first, it's a male thing, right? Like it doesn't take the God, then there's a goddess, right? Like there is, first and G means generator, O means operator, and D means destroyer, right? Like there is generation, there is operation, and there is destruction in this universe. Okay, all three things happen. Okay, so there is an energy. So if I call it the force, then that's more of a fun thing, like what they call in the Star Wars, the force. But, so there is a force, yes. Yes, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Does the force think?
It does more than think. It thinking is a very little part of it. It does much more than think. It creates the rules and the laws of this creation. This creation has laws, and force upholds those laws.
What did we do wrong to being in this prison now? We must have done something wrong in the past.
Yes. If in a higher realm you misbehave,
Yeah.
then you fall. Because everything is in this multiverse. Everything is behavior. Are you understanding? Like I first said, like about nature, how you behave with nature, how you behave with another human being, another beings. Now, in a higher realm, there is a being which is more than you, which has more coherence, which is more power than you, and you misbehave with that being. What will happen to you?
You will
Fall. So, behavior is everything, because you're not alone in this multiverse, right? You are a being, and there are a lot of other beings. So you'll always have to deal with other beings. Even if you're in heaven, you still have to deal with other beings. So there's a strict code of behavior in heaven. Now most of the human beings cannot reach heaven because why? Because they don't know how to behave. And everything in the education out there teaches us how to behave wrongly. Like everything which is coming on TV or everything is teaching people how to behave wrongly, how to be more disgraceful, how to be more crazy, how to be more nonsensical. So what will that stop you? Then you can't go to heaven because you don't have the behavior for it. Even if you went, you'll not last 5 minutes. You'll be thrown back. Because you don't know how to behave there. You don't know the behavior code. In Earth, people behave any which way right now. So that's why discipline is required. You have to have control over the body. This body is a very simple body, easy body to control, human body. The other body is more faster. It's much harder to control. If you can't control this body, how can you control that body? Are you understanding? So if you can't control the body, you can't behave. Behavior requires control of body, right? Proper real behavior to anyone, like polite behavior, nice behavior, requires control of body, right? Otherwise you are disrespectful. So it's a very simple thing. In this multiverse, behavior is everything. But that's not we are taught at school. No one teaches that at school, right? Instead, people are like doing this now and the rap and whatever, and then they come to you. Then that's disrespectful, right? That body language. Everything is body language. People are being taught the wrong body language. The kids, especially. So we have to get out of the cycle of devolution and wrong behavior to cycle of discipline and then right behavior. And then you get access to heaven and you break the... Yes. Yes.
Is this something that we learn instinctively, by instinct?
Yeah,
Or
the natural instinct is always to evolve in any being.
okay,
The natural instinct in any being
okay,
is to evolve.
yeah,
Now you have to become unnatural to not do that. Now, so even in beings who are being unnatural, there is something which is pushing at them, like this is not right, this is not right, which you call conscience. You call it by different names, but that is there, that energy, that force is there, and that is your natural instinct actually. Yeah, I mean obviously everything is natural, like if you want to make a tea, you boil water first, right? You put water, you don't just throw the tea into the pan straight. So there is a natural flow of things, how things are done. So in everything, like you take control of body first, then you behave better, and all of that, that is all a natural flow. Everything is a natural flow. So even evolution is a natural flow, but you have to want that first. So that's why I started with, do you want well-being? That was my first question, because that has to be very clear. I really want it. Then obviously you will want to break out of the prison and stuff and whatever, but you have to want that well-being first. It might sound very simple, but it's not. Most people have not made up their mind. You have to make up your mind, and that will come from repetition actually. Once you speak something many times, it makes up your mind up to a consciousness level, not just mental level. I hope it was fun. I hope you people are enjoying. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Because learning should be fun. Okay, it should not be a boring. Yes.
And welcome back.
Yes. I'll be coming now. I'm getting used to this environment.
Thanks a lot.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
thank you.